Hey guys, it's Austin-Sensei, and welcome back to another review of The Time I Was Reincarnated as a Slime. A very long name, and quite a fun anime nonetheless, but let's start off with the beginning of the good old episode, and we see that the village is actually almost being completely built, and that I like this progression in the anime of showing it the whole village basically being slowly built, and this is actually a couple days after the encounter with the other, Onis. I'm going to call them Onis because that's what they are, and look, I don't trust Crunchyroll, truth be told, but then again, what they are is the same thing, but nonetheless, we actually get to see the progress of everyone. We see Shuna is making silk for everyone, basically for, the good old village to make clothing, and we see Rimuru visit her to see what she's up to, and then we actually find out about, Sinon, what she's doing, and she's actually Rimuru's secretary and bodyguard, and we finally get to see the Sinon versus Shuna fight over Rimuru because they both love him very much and want to keep him as their own play toy, basically. But we after see Sinon's cooking for Rimuru for lunch, and this episode was just 10 out of 10 hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing. I started coughing up a lot. I'm not gonna lie, that's how funny it was. But continue on. We see that the others in the room, the other Onis, were basically waiting for lunch themselves, and they start to go and hide and act as they're not hungry because they hear that Sinon's making lunch, and it kind of shows that she can't cook and she's going to probably cause something. And you remember talk about the really pretty girl that really can't cook trope, and I'm like, this is amazing. Breaking the fourth wall for that kind of stuff is amazing to see in the anime, and I couldn't stop laughing. Like, yep, it's pretty much what's gonna happen, right? And we see Ben is nervous, and good old Gabiru comes in, and we see basically Sinon try to feed Rimuru the interesting thing that looked like poison and it had its own face, and basically Rimuru finds a way out, and he feeds Gabiru the food, and poor Gabiru's down. Poor man. Can we get a rip in the chat for Gabiru? Man's God, isn't he? No, he isn't. But anyways, we see that Sinon now needs permission from Ben to serve food. And just poor Gabiru. This man just comes out of nowhere, having a good day, doing his own thing, then BAM! Eat this food! Dies. Poor guy. I couldn't stop laughing, but we have a cut to the lizard men, and Gabiru is going to be the chieftain of the tribe, as previously stated in the last episode. I just wanted to bring that up just in case people don't know that. But Gabiru is actually heading towards Rimuru's village, and we see that he has a huge ego, and it's just hilarious to see how big his ego is. And we see after Kobe and Kaijin basically getting along extremely well and talking about how to do what they do, and Smith and all that kind of forge stuff. Quite interesting conversation. I felt like Rimuru just, yeah, I know what you're talking about. And we see that the lizardmen actually arrive at the village, and Ben, Sinon, and Haiku all accompany Rimuru to meet with, Gabiru. And Gabiru actually has an extremely dramatic entrance, and I couldn't stop laughing like, oh man, you have a huge ego, and you're going to get your face kicked in. And basically, he goes there and tells Rimuru that he's going to serve under him. And I'm like, ooh, that's where you really messed up. But we already see Rimuru doesn't like Gabiru, and Sinon doesn't either. They both don't like it. I find them two kind of very relatable. Well, not relatable, more of... they're relatable because I would be them like, no, I don't like them. And they share the same views on people, and I think that's a cute thing. But no shipping without my permission. But we see that Ben asks good old Rimuru if he can kill Gabiru, and Rimuru goes, sure! Then realizes what he did, he's like, no, don't do it. And we see that Gabiru wants to talk to Ranga, and basically, he insults Rimuru over and over and over and says he's going to fight Rimuru to free the monsters. Because if you don't know slimes, if you've never played an actual MMORPG or an RPG with monsters in it, slimes aren't very highly rated monsters. They're very weak, just like goblins. And you get the point, but that's why he's thinking that. If you don't know, just wanted to explain that to you. But we basically see Ranga almost wanting to destroy him, and oof, that's all I gotta say. Then, just after the insults, he's calling the people weak, and Rimuru starts to think that Gabiru is just an idiot and isn't very trustworthy in battle, and it gets interesting. It starts to build up to the point that this fight's going to happen, and Gabiru is still alive and kicking, and he has poison resistance after eating that food. And now he's going to be fighting Gabiru, and if he wins, he will get a sword from Rimuru, forged for him, and if he loses, he has to eat basically Sinon's cooking again, and that's what fired him up not to lose. And I couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, oh. Then Sinon goes, I feel kind of strangely angered by this conversation. I'm like, I would too. I love Sinon and Shuna. I can't decide between those two, honestly. But we see that Gabiru beats Gabiru extremely easily by using his shadow movement, which is the same movements, the Tempest Wolves use. He kind of learnt them from them. It's showing how these monsters can start learning and have their own kind of skills, and it's just seeing the evolution while the anime is going is just impressive, and it's well done, and this is the stuff I wish, good old Overlord would have had in it, but we can't have good things anymore, can we? But we see that Rimuru thought Gabiru was gonna lose, and we see the lizardmen just run because their boss just got his face kicked in by a hollow goblin, and Gabiru's just confused. Well, happy that he won, but confused at the same time. I couldn't stop laughing. I thought that was hilarious, and I was so happy to see this animated finally. So wrapping it all up, at the end, we see, the orcs are getting closer, and there's about 200k of them, as we previously heard. And Rimuru thinks the Demon Lord is involved, but Ben counteracts it with thinking that an Orc Lord is involved. And both are right, to say the least, because, you need the Demon Lord to kind of send out his subordinates to have that kind of thing happen. But we see that Rimuru is going to meet a Dryad, and I know I'm going to butcher her name, but Trania shows up and basically tells Rimuru that she wants him to defeat the Orc Lord. And this is kind of the biggest... We're going to see a big arc coming, and this is going to be a very action-packed one, which I have been waiting for a while, and I can't wait, and it's just getting so good. This anime has just been flawless, honestly. Yes, the beginning was a little rough, but it was kicking off for everything right there. I know, I just can't wait. Who's your favorite girl between Sinon and Shuna? I can't decide. You can't make a man like me decide that kind of stuff. But tell me in the comments down below who you prefer, and go a little more about, this. It's very good that we're going to get 24 episodes. This is going to carry over to winter. I'm going to obviously still cover it, along with, the Shield Hero is going to... I won't cover the first 2 episodes since it's going to be an hour long each, but that's a little information. But going back to Slime, this anime has just been perfect. It's been well done, and I personally think it's the best anime of fall. And I know people love Rascal. Yes, it's good, but I like fantasy animes that do it well, not repeating the same thing over and over. And if they do repeat it, they do it a good way, kind of thing. But Slime is that anime that does it well, I think. And I'm kind of happy we're getting a break with Overlord, especially because I haven't heard anything quite yet about it. I'll probably hear something, but anyways, guys, tell me in the comments below who you prefer, Shuna or Sinon. But as always, guys, this is Austin-Sensei, signing out. Peace.